Hey, check this out. How you doing, boss? Check this out for me. I'm out here to help people save their babies. And if your sweetheart's thinking about aborting her baby today, we'd like to offer you a better place than an abortion clinic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that, but it's either her or her house. And I'd rather have her house because she has 5 other kids with me. And
She has 5 what?
she has 5 other kids with me.
So it's either her or the house.
Her or her house.
Oh, her health.
Yes.
Why is she having problems health-wise with having another baby?
She's diabetic.
So did she have other kids when she was a diabetic?
Yeah, but
Now come on, Dad. Listen, I'm out here because I love you and I care about you. But don't give me a bunch of baloney about the health. You guys don't want another child and you're making excuses.
no, I could take care of my kids. I could take care of it.
Well, yeah, but
The
you
doctor said that she has another kid that she's gonna fuck her up, and I know that because my mother went through. She had 8 kids, and now she's all fucked up. She's sick every day. She has to rock, like on the bed.
Sure.
She's in pain. She's in fucking pain, and it's like I can't go through that.
Sure, I get that, but she's not in pain because she had kids.
No. I'm just saying she's in pain.
Well, now wait a minute. You said
She's gonna go through pain.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah, but.
So do you believe God is bigger than your problems?
Well, I know He solves a lot of our
That's right. That's right. And hear what you're saying, and I appreciate your honesty, but here's what you're saying to God. You're not big enough to protect my wife and my 6th child. And so I'm going to go to the devil for my answer. And I'm going to let the devil solve my problem. And here's what they're going to do to your baby. And it's hard to handle, but here's what they're going to do. They're going to murder your baby. And you're murdering your baby. In other words, you're saying God's not big enough to give my wife a healthy body, rather than saying, you know what I'm going to do? After we have number 6, my wife is going to get fixed so that we're not going to have any more children because we don't want to risk future sicknesses or anything. So we're going to get fixed to keep her healthy, and we're going to have our 6th child. So we don't go murder a child down the road. That's what you should be doing to honor God and to honor your wife and to honor your family. But instead, every time somebody sees you, and my son has 5, I have 5 grandchildren, foster kids that were adopted. We have 5 grandchildren in their family. Every time someone comes to you and says, whoa, what a handsome family. How many children do you have? Do you realize that if you let your wife have an abortion today, you realize that every single day in the rest of your life, when you are asked how many children do you have, you are going to be a liar. You're going to look at them and say, I got 5 children. And you know what God's going to say on your shoulder? You got 6. You murdered one of them. And you're going to live with that the rest of your life. And your wife's going to live with that. She's going to live with that. She's going to cringe. She should be proud. I got 6 kids. But now she's going to cringe every time somebody says to her, how many children do you have? And your wife, there's going to be a knot in her chest, because you guys will remember some guys loved you enough to come out here and warn you about what's going on in there, and that you're going to murder your baby, and you're going to live your whole life knowing I murdered my baby and made excuses for having an abortion. Your wife is going to be fine after this baby. And like I said, get yourself fixed if you don't want to have any more children. But that's what they're going to do to your baby. How far along is she? That's your baby when your baby's done. And you know what they do with your baby? They sell the baby parts. They sell your baby's brains and your baby's arms and legs. And they sell your baby for lab studies and for kids in college. That's what they do with your dead baby. And that's what you're doing today. You and your wife, hey, I don't want another kid right now. Well, your health and all of a sudden you start getting all of these excuses. Not that they're not emotionally legitimate. Nobody wants to be sick or in pain. I get that. But I bet you've told your kids, 2 wrongs never make it right. Have you said that to your kids? 2 wrongs, I heard it all the time. 2 wrongs never make it right. And that's what you're doing today. You're trying to do something wrong to make it right, and you can't do that. And what you ought to be doing is you ought to park your car and you ought to go in there and get your wife and say, listen, Dawn's out there talking to me, talk some sense into me. I'm not going to do this. This was a moment of weakness for us. Let's get out of here. We can do this. We can have this baby, and we can be perfectly fine. And listen, is she healthy now? Because of the diabetes and stuff? Is she having it regulated?
She takes her pills. She takes her...
Does she have type 2 diabetes?
I really don't know what type though, but she's been doing that.
Well, you need to find out, because type 2 diabetes, she can get rid of it if she eats right. If she does the right foods and the right eating, she can get rid of it.
Thank you for...
Listen, I appreciate you listening, but I want you to do more than listen. I want you to say, you know what? That's right. God sent on out here to tell me the truth. And I'm going to change my mind, and I'm going to do the right thing. And you text your wife and say, come back and get in the car. Does she respect you enough to do that? Then you text your wife and say, hun, guys, let me have the... Guys, you got the Pregnancy Help Center? You guys got the Pregnancy Help Center card? You and your wife go over to the Pregnancy Help Center. They'll help you with everything. They'll help you get the right doctor. They'll help you get everything you need at the Pregnancy Help Center. Right here. Okay? You go to the Pregnancy Help Center and you get the love and attention that you need. But I want to encourage you, man. You know what I'm doing right now? You have a little baby inside your wife, a little boy or a little girl. And that little boy or girl is alive, safely in your wife's womb. And when they get done with pulling your baby out with tongs and murdering your baby, you got to live with that the rest of your life. You have to live with the fact that you had the chance to get the mental mindset that this is not right. And you get your wife, and these ladies will get you at the Pregnancy Help Center. They'll get you a good doctor. They'll get you everything you need so that you don't need to make excuses for killing your 6th child. Amazing who your little son or daughter is going to become if they don't end up in a jar in the back room. So Dad, think about it. Okay? The thank you comes in you doing the right thing and saving your baby. Text your wife